The filming location of the drama was located in a remote area on the outskirts of Hengdian City. The afternoon sun illuminates the studio grounds in golden hues, creating a warm yet tiring atmosphere after a full day of work. The crew was still busy tidying up the equipment, while the actors one by one headed for the dressing room. Zhang Linghe had just taken off his heavy costume, a long robe filled with embroidered details, and took a deep breath. "It's finally over too," she murmured softly, reaching for the water bottle on the dresser. Not far away, Zhao Jinmai was still busy joking with his hairdresser. Her long hair was just released from an intricate bun, gently dangling over her shoulders. He laughed a little, his voice as light as a bell. Linghe reflexively glanced at him. There was something about Jinmai's laughter that always made him want to smile, even though his own body was already exhausted. "Linghe," the director's voice calls, dispersing his reverie. "Tomorrow we start early. Don't forget, the morning scene is quite intense. Get some rest tonight." Linghe nodded politely, then stepped out of the room. But his steps stopped when he heard Jinmai's voice calling from behind. "Hey, you want to go straight home?" he asked. Linghe turned his head, slightly surprised. "Don't know yet." "Why? Maybe we can eat something first?" "I'm so hungry," Jinmai said as he patted his stomach, then chuckled. "But if you're tired, it's okay." Linghe smiled faintly. "I don't mind. Besides, I'm hungry too." It was the beginning of their evening together. But who would have thought? The togetherness actually gave rise to a series of small fads that secretly became a separate story between the two of them. Small games in the waiting room. The artist's waiting room in the studio was quite modest. There was a long sofa, a glass table with a couple of snacks, and a small television in the corner of the room. That night, almost all of the crew had gone home, leaving a rare silence. Jinmai unwrapped the potato chips taken from the table. "You want?" he asked as he held out. Linghe sat on the opposite sofa. "Sure." He took a piece, but when his hand was about to enter the wrapper, Jinmai quickly pulled it out. Wait. Answer me first," he said, his eyes gleaming. Linghe frowned in astonishment. "What question? Who is your favorite actor of all time?" Linghe pretended to think for a long time. Maybe the actor who is now sitting in front of me." Jimmy nodded and then laughed. "Holla. You like to make a sudden splash." "But that's an honest answer," Linghe chimed in a serious tone, despite the small smile on the corner of his lips. "Here, take it." Jinmai finally handed over the chips. But instead of eating it, Linghe instead put it back into the wrapper. "I have a question too," he said. "If I answer, you must also answer." "Fair, right? All right. When the filming of this drama is over, what's the first thing you want to do?" Jinmai bit her lip, then looked at her with sparkling eyes. "Vacation. To the beach. Maybe to the Maldives. I can play sand as much as I want without thinking about heavy costumes and cameras." Linghe chuckled a little. "Funny. I thought so too. But I'd probably rather sleep all day." The simple conversation then turns into a question and answer game full of fad. They tease each other, throw jokes at each other, even to the point of challenging each other to silly little things. From mimicking the director's always serious style, to trying to read the script in the strangest voice they can make. Outside the waiting room, the sounds of the night grew quiet. But inside the room, their laughter continued to resonate. Small surprises at the shooting location. The next day, the shooting atmosphere was again dense. However, the previous night's prank made their relationship a little different. There is a kind of bonding that is lighter, warmer. During the filming break, Jinmai approached Linghe with a mysterious face. "I have a surprise for you," he said. Linghe raised an eyebrow. "Surprise?" "Yes. But you have to close your eyes first." With some reluctance, Linghe complied. Jinmai then put something in his hand. When he opened his eyes, he saw a small dragon-shaped doll made of origami paper. "You made this yourself?" he asked incredulously. Jinmai nodded proudly. This morning before I left. Funny, right? Linghe looked at the little doll with a faint smile. There was a warmth he couldn't hide. Thank you, I didn't expect you to care so much. But before the moment was too sweet, Jinmai added in a seductive tone, if you don't like it, give it back. I can give it to someone else. Linghe quickly put the doll in his pocket. Cannot. It's already mine. Jinmai laughed loudly. Caught on camera. That day, a prankster crew recorded the moment when Linghe and Jinmai sat side by side while chuckling backstage. The video was accidentally scattered to the crew group. Well, if the fans see this, they must be excited, whispered one of the staff. It's true. Although it has not yet come out to the public, internal gossip is already circulating. The two main stars look more and more familiar behind the scenes. Linghe was worried. What if someone misunderstood? Ask the Jin. But Jinmai responded casually. Let it go. We're just having fun anyway. Life on set is too serious without laughter. That simple answer relieved Linghe. However, deep in his heart, he knew that laughter with Jinmai was not just entertainment. There was something deeper, something that was slowly growing without him being able to stop it. A memory that turns into a memory. It was raining outside the studio. Filming had to be paused because the outdoor set could not be used. All the crew rested, while Zhang Linghe and Zhao Jinmai sat on the long sofa by the window. It's boring. Jinmai sighed while playing with his cell phone. Zhang Linghe turned his head. Then a mischievous smile appeared. You want to play a game? What game? Jinmai raised his eyebrows. Truth or dare? But we made our own version. If dare fails, it must. Zhang Linghe paused, pretending to think. I have to buy coffee for a week. Jinmai laughed loudly. You are such a crafty bastard. But you're interested, right? Linghe smirked. The little game begins. At first it was simple. Questions about habits, challenges to sing songs, until told to make funny faces. But in the middle of the game, the mood changed. Jinmai gets a truth that makes him silent for a moment. Who is the person who annoys you the most but you still can't get away from him? Asked Linghe. Jinmai lowered his head, pretending to be busy with his hair. Don't know. Answer me, this is a game. You, he replied slowly, leaving Linghe stunned. Quiet for a moment. Then both laughed. But in that laugh there was something different. They know, this simple fad leaves a trail of feelings that cannot be considered playful anymore. Caught on camera. The next day, they returned to filming. In between scenes, Jinmai idly draws cat doodles in Linghe's script. Oh, not there. Linghe protested while trying to seize. But the camera behind the screen was recording the moment they were joking. The editor who was monitoring the monitor laughed along. And accidentally the video was leaked to social media when one of the staff uploaded it on a personal account. Netizens' comments immediately exploded. Oh my god, they are so sweet. Is this really a scam or a scam? Off-screen chemistry is the same as on-screen. Why both make vapor? Both managers panicked. But the production was even happy, because the public attention made the drama's ratings go up. In the waiting room, Linghe raised an eyebrow while showing her phone. We are trending again. Jinmai just covered his face with both hands. Why do you have to upload anyway? Shame on you. Linghe laughed contentedly. It's wrong to like me. But behind the joke, both are aware that they are walking a fine line between professionalism and personal feelings. A feeling that can't be covered. Increasingly, the atmosphere on the set of filming is changing. Friends of the crew began to flirt with them blatantly. You guys always break up, yeah? Zhang Linghe, bring coffee to Jinmai again. Jinmai tried to be indifferent, but his face was always red. Linghe himself, instead of dodging, responded even more casually. Yes, naturally, the main partner must be taken care of. The answer always sounds ambiguous, making people even more complacent. One night, after filming had finished sooner, They sat on the rooftop of the studio building. City lights twinkled. Cold air greeted. "I'm afraid people misunderstand," Jinmai whispered suddenly. "Misunderstood what?" asked Linghe. "We are. All these pranks, all the moments that people see." Linghe looked at him fixedly. "If it's not a misunderstanding? What if there is something real?" Jinmai was silent. That question is too honest, too bold. But in his heart, he knew he was beginning to feel the same way. Between truth and justice. The next day, they got an intense scene in the drama. An emotional scene that demanded the two hold hands tightly. The scene was so natural that the director even commented, "That's great, you don't look like you're acting." But after that scene, Jinmai couldn't stop thinking about how Linghe's hands felt so warm, so real. On the other hand, Linghe was also beginning to worry. The world of entertainment is full of limits. Gossip can destroy a reputation. But the more he tried to stay away, the more he wanted to be close. "If we continue like this, are you ready for all the consequences?" asked Linghe one night. Jinmai looked at him for a long time. "I don't know. But I know one thing. I don't want to pretend anymore." Difficult decision. As the rumors spread, their management called the two. "Keep your distance. Do not give material to netizens. Just focus on the drama," said the manager. Jinmai nodded obediently. But in his heart he felt depressed. While Linghe, despite trying to accept, couldn't cover up the frustration. The following days, they tried to be more professional. No more excessive laughter, no more fad in sight. But everyone can feel an odd tension. Until one day, Jinmai secretly slipped a sticky note into Linghe's script. "Do not change. I still want us to be who we are." Linghe smiled when he found it. He realized that even though the world forced them to keep their distance, their hearts were still connected. A fad that never ends. The drama is finally over. All the crew and players had a small celebration. In the crowd, Linghe and Jinmai sat side by side, laughing, recalling all their fad moments. "Do you realize that without those fables, maybe we wouldn't be this close?" Linghe laughed. Jinmai smiled, his eyes sparkling. "Yes. Your annoying pranks turned out to be the thing I'm most grateful for." That night, they knew their journey had just begun. Whether as a friend, colleague, or maybe something more, a fad that used to be just a simple game has now become a bridge to real feelings. And while the outside world may only see it as a joke, they know that behind it all, there is a much deeper story. The story of two hearts who find the simplest way to get closer, through a fad.